Hey guys, so welcome back to the channel, by the way. The whole Gary Neville thing was pretty funny, wasn't it? Gary Neville once again stuck his massive nose into something that he probably shouldn't. Turns out something that he had no idea about. Has no authority talking about, actually. Actually, you know, he did play for England, don't you know? Therefore, true authority on what is patriotic and what isn't, and when you should or shouldn't use the flag. Thanks for that, Gary. No, but I just found it interesting because it's not really about Gary himself, right? We're all angry. We're all angry. We can feel that all the time. We're angry at the government. We're angry at the government. We're angry at being lied to. We're angry at the giant corporations pushing their agendas, at these quangos, at these governing bodies like the WEF and the UN pushing their agendas. The mass mainstream media psyop that gaslights the public constantly. We're a little bit tired. So all we want to do is fly our fucking flag, Gary. Anyway, I wanted to highlight this this news segment, because it's genuinely amazing, guys. It's genuinely exactly what I wanted to say. There's one point I wanted to add in this, actually. When we get to that, I'll point it out. But other than that, it's exactly what I wanted to say when I heard Gary Neville say that shit, because I know Gary Neville is full of garbage. He's full of garbage. He's absolutely full of it. And again, this video highlights why. Watch it now. One sec.
Gary Neville is being absolutely roasted for this.
So I've just left my house and walking into the office, waking up obviously, seeing the news last night and the news this morning dominated by the horrific attacks within the Jewish community just about a mile from here.
Okay, who did that attack, Gary? We know it was a Syrian-born jihadi called Jihad. His Muslim convert wife said he wanted to join ISIS. Neville's going to do it.
Is he? Is he going to call it? Is he going to call it out? Is he going to do the thing? Is he actually going to be brave enough?
Finally going to call out radical Islamist terrorism. Go on, Gary.
Going down a Littleton Road, seeing 60, probably 50 or 60 Union Jack flags.
Yes,
that's
brilliant.
It's great.
Patriots.
Yeah, he must be over the moon, right? He's an Englishman and he's patriotic. He must be over the moon at seeing that many flags.
And people just loving their country. Go on, Gary.
And on the way back, I went down the parallel road, which is Bury New Road, which has got the Jewish community right at its heart. And they're out on the streets, defiant, not hiding or in fear.
Yes, and that is really brave of them because, Gary, especially in the last 2 years, they've faced relentless anti-Semitism from a combination of lunatic Islamists and mad far-left activists. But here...
Remember when the English went onto the streets after Axel Rudikabana did that horrible thing, and everyone called us racists. We were just racist. We weren't brave. We weren't going against the authoritarian state. We were just called racists.
Here we go. Gary is getting to the bit now where he calls out those nutty Islamists. Maybe he'll even make a point that many of the thousands of illegal immigrants we have crossing the channel come from countries that hate Jews. Come on, Gary, come on.
The division that's being created is absolutely disgusting.
It's always the same with these guys. They divide you by saying that you're dividing other people. You're just flying a flag of unity, but that's dividing people. And that basically speaks to the crux of the matter. If the England flag divides people from the English, then there's a reason that they want to get rid of the flag, because they can't be English. The flag is meant to divide.
Mainly created by angry, middle-aged white men who know exactly what they're doing.
What?
Yeah.
Oh, hang on.
Yeah.
Angry, middle-aged white men. I can't help but wonder how many angry, middle-aged white men pay Gary Neville's wages by buying Sky Sports subscriptions. But anyway...
I wonder how many middle-aged white men go around stabbing people in the name of fucking Allah Akbar, boogla, 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 boo.
Do you think he means angry, middle-aged white men like Jihad al-Shami, good British name there, or angry, middle-aged white men like Salman Abedi, the son of Libyan asylum seekers who blew himself up?
How many cousins do you need to sleep with to look like that? Just wondering. Must be quite a few.
Inside Manchester Arena. Maybe this is what he means. Yeah, there we go. Now that is an...
Have you seen that guy's wife, by the way? Oh, this is a guy that tried to kill someone for burning a Quran. Have you seen his wife? I swear to God, it looks like his sister. Probably is.
Angry, middle-aged... oh, hang on a second. Let's have a look at this. Oh, it was a Muslim man, actually, who just violently attacked...
Oh, yeah, and he didn't even get a prison sentence. He was just let off. Because apparently, if you try and kill someone for burning a Quran, that's fine in England now. That's perfectly fine. Won't be too long before you can just stab someone and get away with it. Actually kill someone, maybe, one day. As long as it's in defense of Islam, it'll be fine. And I just want to say, guys, I do believe that we see these stories crop up to divert attention away from the things that we should be looking at. One of those things right now is the implementation of all the different systems for the digital ID system. We're seeing certain things being pushed through the House of Commons now, bills being pushed through. One of them are in the House. One of the bills to do with basically taking over the entirety of your children's education. And I mean, forensically taking it over.
We are collaborating, I can announce that now, about looking into this particular bill called the Children's Wellbeing in Schools Bill, which is in the House of Lords as we speak. And just a quick rundown. It's been put forward by Bridget Phillipson and Baroness Smith of Malvern, and the bill empowers the Secretary of State to specify a consistent identifier for children. And it's to be used by designated persons when processing information about children in safeguarding and welfare functions. And this is extremely sinister. And I hadn't seen or heard about this bill for a while, but it's really at the late stages of it going through. And you can check out a bit more details on the parliamentary bills. But it lets children be tracked across multiple domains and agencies using a single key, and over time that key can be reused or cross-linked beyond initial purposes, and it gives power to, or legal powers, new legal powers to local authorities such as the council, that creates and maintains registers of all children, including those not in school, such as home-educated children. It collects and stores personal data about those children, parents, and education providers. They can share that information with other bodies, for example, the Department for Education, safeguarding agencies, or even across UK nations. And parents might be required to provide any other information about the child that the Secretary of State considers should be included under certain clauses. So, for example, it allows ministers to expand the data required over time, creeping into monitoring of beliefs, behaviours and family contexts.
Jesus. That's horrifying.
Horrifying.
And there's also the added dimension of this is the elites doing this, you know?
Yeah.
It's not to get too dark here, but it's like giving a menu to an Epstein-like character, isn't it?
I was thinking like in Rotherham and stuff.
Exactly. Yeah.
Council directly involved in the grooming gangs.
Yes, give me your children. I will look after them very well.
Stop that.
Well, that's being pushed through right now. And it's in the House of Lords. I think I'll make a video about this, actually. I saw it on the Lord of Seaters. I had no idea about this. It sounds absolutely horrifying, which is maybe why these kinds of stories are out here right now, diverting people's attention away from the actual laws that are being passed that are going to control you. But anyway, let's keep going with the Gary Neville thing.
Someone with a knife for burning a Quran outside the Turkish embassy. Guess what? He was spared jail. Anyway, carry on, Gary.
Funnily enough, on one of my development sites last week, there was a Union Jack flag put up, and I took it down instantly. And some people might be watching this and thinking, well, Gary, you're not very patriotic. I played for my country 85 times.
He played for the country 85 times. Well, that's brilliant, guys. Do you know what? If you get a picture of Saka, for example, that guy, and if you were to ask Gary, is this an Englishman? Gary would probably say yes. So I don't give a shit whether you play for the country 80 odd or 90 odd times, Gary. If you believe an African can be an Englishman, then we're not on the same team.
I love my country. I love Manchester and I love England. But I've been building in this city for 15, 20 years, and there's no one put a Union Jack flag up in the last 15 to 20 years, so why do you need to?
Well, probably because in the last 15 to 20 years, a lot of people have started killing us and stabbing our children and raping them and telling us that our flag is racist, telling us that our country doesn't belong to us, telling us that it's their country now and they're not here for crumbs, they're going to take the fucking lot.
We're not here to beg for crumbs off the table. We're taking the fucking lot.
Maybe that's why, Gary, we want to fly our flag.
Let's put one up now.
Great question. Let me tell you why, Gary. Because over the last 15 to 20 years, we have seen record levels of mass immigration. We've seen record levels of illegal immigration. We've seen a huge rise in Islamist extremism. People are sick of their hard-earned tax money being spent on asylum hotels and benefits for illegal migrants, and actually, in many cases, legal migrants as well. Not that that bothers Gary, of course, because he's absolutely wadded. But we've had the Pakistani rape gang scandal as well, which Gary doesn't want to talk about.
Do you think it was a good thing that Elon Musk is highlighting?
He's in Davos here. They don't mention this. This is the thing I wanted to mention. He's being hounded here by Avi Yemi, I think that's his name, from Rebel Media or Rebel News. I can't remember. One of the rebels, right, in Australia. And he's flew to Davos to meet up with people that are going there. And he spots Gary Neville. Gary Neville in Davos, speaking with the devils, making plans with the devils. Gary Neville. The guy that lectures us on our flags. Wow.
The grooming gang problem in your country?
I've got no comment, mate.
Really? Why not?
I've got no comment on Trump and Musk and all the rest of it.
No comment on Trump, or on Musk, or on the grooming gangs. But if you fly your fucking flag, you'd be right down there, sunshine.
Let us just ask you quickly. You have to choose now between Davos or Westminster.
Davos.
And now, Gary, we have a Prime Minister and a government who many ordinary, hard-working people feel really don't like Britain and haven't got the minerals to sort it out. But you see, Gary can't admit that, can he? Why not? Well, he did everything within his power to get Sir Keir Starmer elected, didn't he?
Fucking dickhead.
Oh, yeah, good. How are you? Are we good?
Oh,
No problem at all.
Oh, no problem at all. Yeah, he's done it.
So I will say, like I mentioned earlier, how this might be just a distraction away from the news and the policies that they're pushing through. But I do also think it's important to highlight that the fact that this is happening means something. It means that we're no longer able to accept the false patriots. We're no longer able to accept these patronising, gaslighting pieces of shit just saying whatever they want. We're at the stage now where it's, you've been fucking around and now you're going to start finding out. We don't care who you are, Gary Neville or Keir Starmer or anyone else that wants to sell the country out. We're done with it. We're going to make you guys the story now. If you're a celebrity and you think you can lecture down to people while being a fucking hypocrite, while going to Davos and sucking the dick of the devil, well, if you think you can lecture us on how to fly our flag, again, I'm happy to make you guys the story.
Events with Sir Keir Starmer at Labour Party conference. He even backed him over the whole freebie scandal stuff. Look, Gary's very big on morals. He's got a strong sense of right and wrong. Do you remember when he went to the Islamist Hamas terror group housing country of Qatar for the World Cup, inadvertently helping to sports wash that diabolical country?
I do remember that. Oh, exactly, right? This is why I love this news segment. I was just about to bring this up, this clip where he's on here, making an excuse for doing that. And his excuse, and I can imagine Gary Neville speaking to Gary Neville in the mirror going, Gary, what's the excuse that you're going to give people for going over to Qatar? And he's like, well, you can imagine him coming up with this answer.
Got a choice, I think, haven't you?
What, going or not going?
Well, my view always has been that you either highlight the issues and challenges in these countries and speak about them, or you basically don't say anything, you stay back home and don't go. And
Okay, so you can either speak about the issues in this country and try and solve them by going to Qatar and receiving millions of pounds, or you can do nothing and stay in this country.
And I've always said we should challenge them.
There's another option. You stay at home and highlight the abuses. You don't have to go and take the Qataris' money.
What a novel idea. I'm sure Gary just didn't think about that. He's very smart. He is very patriotic. but he's also a greedy little twat.
Yeah. Anyway, according to Gary, it was Brexit that made this country dangerous.
Brexit has had a devastating impact on this country, and the messaging is getting dangerous, extremely dangerous. All these idiots that are out there spreading hate speech in any form.
Well, here's the thing, right? Hate speech, all these buzzwords, it's all virtue signalling bullshit. Brexit itself was the result of mass immigration being implemented on this country, being weaponized against this country to the point where people no longer believed the government, didn't want to stay in the EU because they felt the authoritarian trap that was slowly gripping around our neck. And we thought, you know, we're best out of this. We're best out of this. At least we can trust our own leaders, right?
I'm in danger.
But then we vote Boris Johnson in, who ramps up immigration into this country to levels that we've never seen before. And since then, that's got worse every single year. So the Brexit, I agree, it was, in a way, kind of the catalyst that set things off, set things in motion, made people realise, I mean, again, it wouldn't have happened if Boris Johnson wasn't such a traitor himself, and obviously the parties before him. But yes, you could blame Brexit because it allowed the Conservatives to lose their fucking mind and flood the country, like literally just flood it, which has made people realise, which has made people wake up, which has made people start flying their flags.
And abuse in any form. We must stop promoting them. We must stop.
Oh, gosh. Yeah, we have seen a lot of very concerning rhetoric recently, haven't we? Do you think Gary means stuff like this?
But the deen of Islam has legislated jihad, that wherever anyone attempts to carry out genocide, then Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala has commanded the Muslims.
Whatever, I've seen loads of these guys. I can't be arsed watching this or listening to this fucking shitty language. It's basically them just saying that they want to get Sharia law, that they want to install the jizya, which means that if you're a non-Muslim, you have to pay the Muslim tax, right? That's the only way that you can be in a Muslim country and not be a Muslim. You have to pay the jizya. And obviously do loads of humiliating things that are meant to draw you closer to Islam by making life without Islam unbearable. They talk about this openly on camera. It's boring now. Everyone knows that they mean us harm. It is fucking pointless ignoring it, which is one of the things that Gary Neville does like expertly, ignores the real issues, but virtue signals like a damp lesbian.
Gary Neville might have got this one wrong. Let's get the thoughts of my panel. Let's whiz ourselves over there. We have got...
I won't stay with this long. The panel is fine. I just like the reaction from this guy in just a minute or so, and you'll see why.
Express columnist Carol Malone. We've got journalist Benjamin Butterworth and Reform's Sir Jake Berry. Carol, has Gary got this one wrong?
Joe, this is the problem when you have thick as mince, two bob political commentators who know nothing, who have...
Not talking about us. Perfect! Butter knob. He's just like, there we go. That's me. You've just described me in 1 fucking second. Maybe he was joking, right? Maybe that guy was like joking just now. I'll show you again. But I don't think you should joke about things that are true.
Know nothing.
Reform's Sir Jake Berry. Carol, has Gary got this one wrong?
Joe, this is the problem when you have thick as mince, two bob political commentators who know nothing.
At least he admits it, though. That's awesome. Anyway, the point is, guys, I think Gary Neville, as you probably agree, is just a very rich, entitled commentator. He should stick to football. If he wants to go down the road of politics, then talk about the hard roads. Don't just talk about the soft, easy pickings, the things that you think the previous political paradigm, the one that used to be in power, would celebrate, because they're no longer in power. You need to catch up, Gary. You need to start switching sides, mate. You need to go more right wing. And I know you can do it. I know you're probably going to do it because you're that kind of person. So, just, hurry up. But for everyone else, I do think that we need to start pointing out the traitors. I think there's going to be a very distinct public backlash against anyone that is unpatriotic.
They don't know what the fuck they're doing.
That's it, guys. I hope you enjoyed that. Like I said, if you do enjoy the channel, please subscribe. I wanted to cover this simply because I just think it's an overreaction from Gary Neville, because he thinks that the English people are overreacting. But what he fails to understand is that the English people are still being incredibly understated. We're still being very calm, very polite about this. All we're doing is showing that we're here, and there's a lot of us. Maybe that's why people are getting a little bit scared, because there's a lot more of us than they thought. After all, they believe it's their country now. It's quite frightening when you find out that, fucking isn't, is it? See you later.